This is my virtual case study on Odila from Daniela Gilligan. So, to start, before I jump into anything else, let's talk about what Odila actually is. So, Odila stands for the Ohio Distant and Electronic Learning Academy. It's a tuition free K 12 virtual charter school that was founded in 2001. So virtual charter schools have been around for quite some time, and they do have quite a few positive attributes to students' education. And one of those things, and the biggest thing is that they're able to bring resources and curriculums that a lot of our traditional brick and mortar style public schools are unfortunately not able to do. So one of the great things about this school is that it provides an opportunity for students to learn kind of at their own pace. And they are not just learning by themselves, but they also are being taught by licensed teachers. This school also provides a number of resources for both students and parents to promote their success within this virtual charter school. So to begin, this was one of the first pages that pops up when you are looking at the website. And I figured we could take a look at this first before we jump into anything else. So looking at their page, I think it looks really great. I think it looks very clean. One of the things that I do have maybe some advice towards is maybe taking the wording down a little bit because it is a lot to absorb and there's a lot of information to absorb. So I think that having this enrollment thing here is absolutely great. It really does get people's eye kind of attention, like, oh, okay, I want to apply. But like I said, it's a lot of information. So, with that all being said, it does break this up into some headings. So, about me information, I love how the academic overview is broken into different grade levels, especially for the fact that it is a K to 12 school. And then I'll jump into the college credit plus shortly. Then it talks about the administration and our faculty and who to contact for what. There is a community piece of this as well. And then they do have some contact information. But again, like I stated before, I feel like it is quite wordy with what they are providing because when I'm looking to contact somebody, it does have a lot of information about who to contact when there's really kind of like one main person to contact. And then also resources for students, parents, and things like that. So, anyways, jumping back into our presentation. Sorry, give me 1 second. Jumping back into this presentation, let's start with, well, who is in charge? Because I stated this is a virtual charter school, and a lot of virtual charter schools have a third party playing into it. Actually, same thing with this school. The Ohio Council of Community School Sponsors actually is the one who oversees and monitors this charter school to make sure that they are following the rules and expectations. So who exactly is this school serving? So beyond just your typical student, and I feel like there's no true typical student, but one who isn't necessarily struggling or anything like that, there are also some main ones that they do focus on, such as special ed students, because they do provide instructional assistance, they provide interventional specialists, and they have a lot of resources for students who have IEPs. Additionally, students with medical conditions are also benefiting from this school as well because of the fact that it is self-paced and they do provide some of the classes actually recorded so students can go back and watch the videos. And this also goes along with students who are travel students, performers, athletes, people whose parents are in the military and they're moving around a lot. This is consistent. So they are able to access this information practically anywhere, and it is still all the same, which is lovely. So one of the mission statements that really popped up a lot when I was going through my research for this was they are trying to inspire minds, engage students, and they're trying to transform education. So talking about more of the supports that Odila does provide both students and parents and families, there are four main ones I found with my research. So, first things first is they do loan out Google Chromebooks to all of their students, which is fabulous because it does ensure that students have the necessary materials and resources for their classes. Second thing is most and some families are actually eligible for internet reimbursement. So, to make sure that each family and student has access to reliable and fast internet, they do have the potential, and they do have to apply for it, but they do have the potential of getting an internet reimbursement, which I think is fabulous. Technical support as well. So that goes along with their Chromebooks or any websites that aren't working or anything along the lines of that. There are people that you can reach out to that will kind of troubleshoot things for you and assist you in those processes as well. And lastly, the one big one that I really thought was awesome was their curriculum partnerships. So some of those supplementary aids they provide, such as iReady, iExcel, BrainPop, things like that, that reflect the topics and skills that students are learning in class. So again, it does contribute to that self-paced piece of it, that if, one student needs a little bit of extra assistance, it is there to help them. So looking at the classes in the school itself and kind of looking at how it's organized, again, this is a K to 12 school. So looking at elementary, they do hit on their traditional curriculum pieces like content areas of math, science, social studies, and reading. But they also really take this time during that developmental stage to focus on critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, understanding abstract ideas, time management skills, all of those that they will need in the future. They really focus on during these early years. And then with middle school, that's when they start, they've already laid the foundation. So now it's time for them to build on it and prepare them for high school. So they are trying to promote engagement with the curriculum for, again, those future years. Jumping into high school, this is when they really start having the opportunity to become more interested in what they're learning, or have more say over what they're learning, rather. So they do provide a ton of courses based on like more of those extracurriculars of something that might interest them, such as art and music and things like that. And as I mentioned previously, they do actually have a college credit opportunity. So they have a dual enrollment classes where they can actually earn college credit within high school time as well. So I did attempt to obtain an interview with the principal for this school. Unfortunately, they did not reply to my email earlier last month. So I did include the screenshot of who I was supposed to contact, as well as a screenshot of my email that I sent out hoping to obtain an interview. But I feel like I did get a lot of information from the research that I found on their website and other various websites. However, if I did get that interview, there are some additional questions I would really like to ask, and two of them really stuck out to me when I was doing my research. And first things I would really like to know is what kind of clubs do they offer, because it is mentioned within their community aspect that there are clubs that they do have. However, upon my research, didn't find a link or anything that would lead me to maybe some of those clubs that they did offer. So I would like to know a little bit more about that. And also, additionally, there was mention of students, and one example I gave was in fourth grade, they're expected to learn how to play the recorder during this time. That's part of their curriculum. So I was wondering if they also provide those resources as well. Do they mail them to them? Like what do they do for that piece of it? So again, those are two big questions I had that I would really like to ask beyond what I was able to find within my research. And here are my references.